Bulletproof family, Larry, Nicole, Nadia, we enjoyed meeting you at Home Gym Con. We got talking about a cheap counterbalance system that I came up with help from Joey E. He's Cuban. I can't roll my R's. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name and embarrass myself and upset him. But it's got $30 pulleys from Amazon. I bought loading pins from Amazon because I didn't have those already. And I actually bought the cordage too because I just had, like, I guess you would say clothesline rope, and I didn't want to try that with the weight. Quickly, I use about 22.5 pounds on these, which is not a perfect counterbalance, but it is enough where it takes pretty much all of the weight off the trolley system. Add that with the stainless uprights that I put on here, and it's probably the smoothest I've ever felt my VTS being. Not that it wasn't super smooth before, but with the counterbalance, pulling weight on the backside as you're pushing on the front too, it's butter smooth. Now, there's another version in the forum which uses the tool balancers, which is like a cable retractor. It's a much more premium version. It's a beautiful setup that he built. It gave Larry the idea to go ahead and try to build one for the actual bulletproof ecosystem, so it's going to have all the labeling. If you want to wait and get the one that Larry is going to do, which I'm going to probably end up getting it too, this is a really cheap $70 setup that you can get a counterbalance going so that your kids can use it, your wife can use it, you can use it easier. I do have video of my son and my wife using it with no issue. So when you buy the pulleys from Amazon, they do come with straps that you can put on your rack. The straps worked fine, but I'm kind of a snob and I just didn't like the strap look. So I purchased Rogue shackles, which you absolutely do not have to do because Rogue is fairly expensive, but I do have pictures of the shackles. The big thing is not worrying about how much resistance and weight is left on the bar with what you have here. Like I said, I have 22.5 pounds on each side, which is lighter than what the actual trolley system weighs, but it's enough where almost all the resistance is gone. All that matters is the weight that you're putting onto your arm, onto the weight horns on this. So if you put 25 pounds on each side, you're going to track it as 50 pounds. You're not going to worry that maybe it's 60 pounds or maybe it's 55 pounds based on what's still left here in the weight. That doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're getting the correct amount of weight for the amount of reps you want to do to get to yourself to the correct stimulus. Get the ego out of there. Don't worry about the actual weight. Just track what you have on there and you're going to be completely fine. But as you can see in some of the pictures and some of the videos, it's a pretty simple setup. As far as attaching it to your VTS, you're going to attach the pulley to the top cross member, either using the Rogue shackle or the straps that come with it. The cable is going to run up and through it. You're going to have to just kind of play around and cut the right size that you need based upon the length of your upright. These are 100-inch ones, so the cable length that I use is going to be different than the cable length you may use if you have an 80 or a 93, whatever it is. You're just going to have to kind of don't trial and error on that. You're going to attach one end to a loading pin. The other end goes to the backside top port there of your VTS. I'm using the new shackles that everybody loves because they're kind of quick disconnects and they're a little bit smaller than using a carabiner. I just tied them off using a sailor type knot. You can go online and figure out the type of knot to use for it. There's several that'll work. I didn't bother trying to crimp them off or anything like that because I wasn't sure how permanent this is going to be. All right, but to show you right here, I do have the feather bar on with the weight horns and the trolley. So you know what this usually weighs, probably around 70 pounds or so, give or take some. And I can just kind of, you can see it's not counterbalanced perfectly for this. Anyone could probably use this right now because I have 45 pounds counterbalanced off of it. So it's probably about 20 pounds of resistance here, which is plenty. And no one's gonna have an issue moving that. Obviously, I don't want to do this, but we are content creators. We're trying to create content. So you can give us a like, or even what's more important is if you subscribe to us, that would actually make me even happier. I can keep doing videos like this and kind of offset my wife's anger when I'm buying new stuff. And I say it's to make reviews of and not just to play with. So thank you.